Gotta cover your dome, get a PA knit. Them PA boys who you cease play with. Drop it in the cart and at least play 6. You gon' cherish them joints on some keepsake shit. Gotta cover your dome, get a PA knit. All kind of flavors is what we stay with. It complement the shine so that we stay lit. Just what you need to complete great fits. Yeah. When it comes to the hats, Gully got you covered. The knits is the shit, you gon' drop all the others. Word to mother, once you discover the comfort, you gon' be like, yo, my brother. Fuck a beanie, unless it's Seagull, it's a wrap. The mother hats, really a lie, you fitted cap. As a holiday gift, the joy we give is drip with more color than Roy G. Biv. Never basic, even got the patterns. You'll shine like lanterns in the cut like caverns. Whether you're hustling, thugging, or loving simple life, no pilfering, hit Gully, he'll get you right. Gotta cover your dome, get a PA knit. Them PA boys who you cease play with. Drop it in the cart and at least play 6. You gon' cherish them joints on some keepsake shit. Gotta cover your dome, get a PA knit. All kind of flavors is what we stay with. It complement the shine so that we stay lit. Just what you need to complete great fits, yeah.
PA Knit, the most electrifying fashion accessory in the world today. Make sure you visit the website, therealdribble.com. Get right. You ready, Nick? Let's get him. Play my song.
Been sitting here for an hour already. Time just seems to slip away.
Shout to the dribble.
Truck drivers, what up? Y'all been so kind to me lately. Be kind to me, I'll be kind to you.
Flies in Frontier, moved our booth first. Now I'm done here. I went on a motherfucking run here. Blood, sweat, and
Make sure you go to the website and get right. TheRealDribble.com, man. I loaded the pistol before I came down in here. Shout out to my engineer, Nick. It's Ramadan. The Lakers and Golden State play tonight. When I get up out this booth, just like Superman, I'm going straight to work, gym. You know what I'm saying? Hit the weights, steam room, try to kill some more time. Right. Try to kill some more time, and that's another day down, you know, for this year's Ramadan. That's been my secret. I'm cruising. In years past, you know, trying to fast. I'll say trying to fast. I didn't have the most discipline in the world. You know what I'm saying? And it was a struggle at times, but I'm cruising right now. I think this is day 5. Cruising, no problem, man. I quit the weed. If I can quit drugs cold turkey, I can quit anything. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the Ramadan ain't been no problem for me, man. And shout out to everybody who's participating. If you overweight, you're obese, you have some type of ailments in your body and shit, you want to get that shit, you know, under control. Ramadan and fasting, intermittent fasting is a great tool to add to your arsenal. And not only that, it's gonna have you looking good, man. I'm getting to the ab part of this shit right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm cleaning it up. So truck drivers, man, if y'all listening, man, when y'all at them truck stops, man, you know, when you go in and Flying J and get your shower and gas up and shit, drop down and get your burpees in, man. You know what I'm saying? It starts the aging process. It slows it up, man. I get a lot of that, a lot of compliments, man. The last trip I took to go do some media, I was down in Miami, and the niggas that booked my tickets, man, they was like, man, when we seen your date of birth, we couldn't believe that you was that old and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm kicking 50 in the ass and shit, man. I'm 47 and shit. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. If you're watching the Dribble, you seeing that I'm applying major pressure, dope content. Me and Alan Evans, we put out the piece about the deacons of defense, who were like, you know, somewhat the vanguard for black people back during the Ku Klux Klan era down in the South and shit. Everybody wasn't scared, and the Deacons of Defense was putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you go check that out on my channel. It's a dope piece. Whenever you go to my channel, you're going to get hip-hop, sports, and fashion, and a little black history, if I got something to say about it. But anyway, let's get to work. My last video that I put out last night, it was a live stream, and I was talking about this, what I'm doing right now, podcasting for for those who watching, this is podcasting. You see I'm in a booth recording. I got the engineer on the other side of this glass. I got my notes right here on this here podium easel thing and shit. And this is podcasting, the audio aspect of the game. The word podcasting is being abused and misused by people everywhere. Wherever you go, you're hearing people mention this new word. This is a word that wasn't a part of the lexicon just a few years ago. People were not saying it. You was not hearing it. There's some people who've been doing podcasting for 20 years, 25 years, like forever. You know what I'm saying? When it was totally foreign to everybody else, the topic, the procedure of recording it, just how to monetize it, put it on streaming platforms, that was foreign to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? One of the my earliest encounters with podcasting was the interview that Jerry Williams, the black FBI agent, did with Dan O'Reilly concerning the Safe Streets Task Force and Wayne Perry situation. That wasn't never shot on film. That was direct to, the streaming platforms by way of audio. But anyway, I launched my podcast. I think I'm probably like 2 years in. Yeah, this is my second season. Season 2, like episode 39 or something like that, man. I'm up in the hundreds of episodes. I'm doing real good and shit. And you got this thing, man, where in society today, this is the new thing to do for everybody. You got people who are abandoning their original professions and shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit that they went to school for, businesses that they have. It's just, I guess this looks glamorous to everybody. In a nutshell, everybody wants to be a fucking star. Everybody wants to be in front of cameras and shit. This is something that's rampant. Everybody has this bright idea that they're gonna get online and come up. This is probably because of they watching certain people, you know what I'm saying? Watching certain people get their shit off and feel that, it's a lot of money involved in this. It probably is some money involved in this. That's by way of advertising dollars and shit. The same way that you put the ads in the YouTube videos, when you upload to your streaming source, mine's is Spreaker and it goes to Spotify, Apple, and all of the other ones from Spreaker. That's who I deal with. When you upload it and shit, you put your ads right in there manually and shit, and that's how the revenue is generated and shit. If you have sponsors, that's another way the revenue is generated. Shout out to my sponsor, Jerron Hammond, paidware.com and shit. He's been on the platform all this week. I appreciate you. But anyway, everybody is trying to be in front of these fucking cameras, and people are giving out terrible advice. You know what I'm saying? People without any aptitude, people without any education, any morals, ethics, is getting in front of these cameras and shit, man, and they putting out their train of thought, how they view things and shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's just terrible, man. I was dealing with this chick, and I noticed that when we would be alone sometime, like I said, I'm kind of quiet in person and shit, like when I'm not on my job. Gully TV is my job, but I'm someone that, kind of sits back and observes things and shit. So I'd be alone with this chick, and, she'd be fucking with her phone, scrolling and shit, and I'm overhearing her listening to these different personalities that she's encountering while scrolling. I won't call them internet personalities or anything. I'll call these motherfuckers regular Joes, regular bitches and regular Joes and shit. So she's listening to everybody's point of view and perspective and shit like that, and it's just crazy. It's crazy as hell. And doing this shit can shape her train of thought, because she's listening to some bizarre shit from a motherfucker who probably ain't got no sense 90% of the time, and before you know it, she's bringing that shit within the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Nick, you gassing me. The weed is coming in here like a motherfucker. It's like I'm smoking it with you. And normally I could bob and weave it and shit out, but I'm in this confined space. Anyway, these chicks, man, they absorbing a lot of shit that they're encountering online. These are not professionals that they're getting this information from. Everybody all of a sudden is a relationship expert and shit like that, and just giving their opinion or whatever, however the fuck they feel about things. And some of these people are damaged goods and been traumatized, and they just got, a very, very twisted, biased perspective and shit. And girls be soaking this shit up. I was noticing this chick. I'm like, damn, she listens to several of these motherfuckers. Like, it's like 6, 7 motherfuckers in her ear. It's probably gonna be difficult for her to absorb anything that I'm the fuck saying. You know what I'm saying? When I'm up against all of these motherfuckers that she's putting in her motherfucking ear and her mind daily. And I'm watching what I feel is the deterioration of society. And I attribute this to the internet and podcasting and shit like that. With, content, let's call it content. I attribute it. I really, really attribute a lot of things that's going on with black people to shit that happens online. I call this podcasting shit the new crack game. What I mean by that is everybody's rushing to be a part of it. Same way niggas is rushing to hop in the streets when crack was popping in the 80s and shit like that. People go to war about this shit. You know what I'm saying? People have lost their lives about this shit. People have developed addictions because of this shit. Like, this shit is very, very similar to the crack game, in my opinion. But anyway, you got everybody trying to do it. People come to this shit with no prior media background. Just, it's very, a very rudimentary situation, man, where you got people who, a nigga was a regular nothing just a few days ago, but they done went to Staples or wherever you get your podcast equipment at, order it online, and they putting these mics together, and now we got to hear these niggas and shit. Like, no aptitude, no prior credentials. You know what I'm saying? I said this on my live stream. Nigga, you wasn't the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't a leader in school. You wasn't the point guard on a basketball team. You was on the bench. You wasn't a quarterback. You was on a line, or you was on the fucking bench. But now all of a sudden today, you decide that you want to be a leader. You got a lot of niggas be online telling niggas what real nigga shit is. This is real nigga shit. And I seen a motherfucker last night. He has a page talking about this page is for players and shit like that. I'm thinking I'm gonna go on this page and see like Ron O'Neal or Bishop Don Juan or some motherfucking body, somebody with some motherfucking polish. He had Tookie Williams on the page, and I said, damn, you associate Tookie with being a player? This is a nigga who killed people. He was a Crip, killed people. It was publicized that he had a problem with PCP and ultimately ended up going to death row and being executed by the Terminator and shit. Nothing about that situation seems player to me, but in this nigga mind who has his own page, this is the type madness that he's pushing out to the world. But anyway, I'm gonna tell you what triggered this. I had to go on Facebook and run somebody down about some business I was taking care of. That's not a platform that I spend a lot of time on. I believe in most cities, everybody's Facebook profile is a part of a local situation. Meaning, if you from Philadelphia, when somebody opens their Facebook, if they're from North, it's probably going to be a lot of North Philly people on that shit. If you're from Brooklyn, it's probably going to be a lot of Brooklyn people on that shit, people from around your way and shit. And it's just a cesspool. But anyway, I went on there looking for somebody, and I'm very mindful, especially at this point now that I've become really high profile. I'm very, very mindful of the people that I accept on my page and shit like that. Before, I didn't care. I was just trying to get as many followers as possible or whatever. But I'm very, very peculiar about the people that I have on my page. I rarely accept any new friends. And if I see someone send me a friend request and we got a lot of mutual friends, that's bad. You know what I'm saying? You see somebody and y'all got 200 mutual friends, 300 mutual friends. It could be more than that. That's just bad. That's too much connection and shit. So anyway, I don't be adding new people, especially if you're not buying anything and shit. I'm not feeling a lot of people that's already on my friends list. But this girl, I grew up with her. She lived across the street from me. I know her grandmother. I know her mother. I know all of her aunts. Know her whole family. been around her most of my life when we was younger and shit. When she graduated high school, she went off to college in Pittsburgh and spent many, many years there. And I think she's still there. Yeah, I believe she's still there. But anyway, I seen her profile, and this girl's almost 50. She's like my age and shit. She was in the gym, and she just turned around and started shaking her ass at the camera in the gym. And she don't really got a lot of ass and shit. Like, it was no reason for her to be doing this shit, but I was just shocked that it was her. You know what I'm saying? That it got to her, like the plague reached her. And I was like, whoa, because this isn't her character. This isn't her character, no way, shape, form, or fashion. She was good in school. She was popular, pretty girl, very modest, not a whore. If none of my niggas got to her, she's not a whore. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, no body count that I know of and shit. She might have went and got a body count in Pittsburgh. But anyway, she's still well put together. And obviously, her personality or maybe her morals have changed or have been influenced by the online community. And when I seen her bent over, blatantly shaking her ass, I'm like, wow. Like, I was shocked. You know what I'm saying? I was shocked that it was her. And I was like, damn, this shit is getting bad, man. Like, this shit is getting bad, man, to the point that you got to be careful. You got to be careful with these girls, man. Like, the days of the good girl and shit is probably winding down, man. Like, if you haven't been with a chick for a long time and y'all done already got through the storm and shit, like, these chicks who are available or present themselves to be available, or someone that you might encounter day to day online, is probably gonna be a bad seed. You dig what I'm saying? And that's something that happens when you have one rotten piece of fruit. If there's still fresh fruit around this rotten piece of fruit, eventually the rest of the batch is gonna become rotten too. And I seen her shaking her ass. Like, this wasn't a subtle ass shake. This was, she turned around completely, bent over, put her hands on her knees, and started shaking her ass and shit. Like, I'm like, damn. I couldn't believe that it was her and shit, because that's not who she is. But anyway, this is something that's, I believe, spreading, becoming more prevalent, more popular. The girls, the women, in general society, man, they're in a very, very bad place, man. It seems like the music, of course, they listening to the music. My booty hole brown, my pussy pink, and all of that shit. If they absorbing all of that, it's just gonna take them to a dark place. But anyway, when I seen this, I was like, God damn. And it made me think, like, the world gonna be really, really fucked up 5 years from now, especially when it comes to women. I seen a lot of people in the comments said that this is primarily American women. I see women from other countries also participating, but it might not be that bad. The modesty is gone. And I believe that it's an ulterior motive somehow, that, you know, crack didn't work, so we gonna get these motherfuckers the internet and let them self-destruct by the way of the internet. A lot of motherfuckers go to jail, get people indicted about shit that came out their mouth that's on the internet. You know what I'm saying? People fight and beef on the internet. A lot of adultery, cheating happens on the internet. People have gotten killed on the internet. People have gotten killed live on the internet. You know what I'm saying? And there's really no policing. I guess the United States got some type of beef with China about TikTok, but if they take TikTok away, it's not going to bother me. I wouldn't care and shit. It'd be one less tool or weapon used against civilization. Now, YouTube, that's something else. YouTube is something else. It's a lot of sports. It's a lot of education. And it's educated videos and sports on TikTok. Probably the same type of content that you will find on YouTube. You probably will find it on TikTok too. But they ain't trying to shut TikTok. They ain't trying to shut YouTube down. They trying to shut TikTok down. And if they do it, I don't give a fuck, because it's fucking these bitches' heads up. They be listening to these motherfuckers get online, acting like they relationship experts and just spewing all type of misinformation and influencing motherfuckers and shit. Like, it's bad. If you continue to hear the shit over and over and over, it becomes what's called a subliminal suggestion. That's something that came from the Nation of Islam, and people will absorb that shit, and it will start manifesting itself through people's character and the shit that they doing. And that's why my homegirl, who was polished as a motherfucker all her life, was online looking like a dumb retarded whore because she's almost 50 years old and shit, and she's acting out some shit that she done picked up from other bitches and shit. Like, it's just crazy. If you pay attention, every chick that you will see online is on this real trying to be sexy thing. They got the eyelashes, the BBWs, they always in yoga pants, they use the same poses, they some chicks pose from the side, some bitches will turn completely around and strip tease, rump shake. Like 20 years ago, you didn't see women online or anywhere for that matter in they panties and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Not in public, not unless you like Buffy the Body or some shit like that. And you seen them chicks in magazines and probably on DVDs and shit. It's just crazy as fuck, man. I couldn't believe that I seen Shorty acting like that. But I guess this is what we've come to with this internet shit, the podcasting. I seen a video that said this was just like 2 weeks ago, and it never left my mind that they should stop selling podcast equipment. And I couldn't help but to laugh and shit because it's too accessible, man. It's too accessible, man, to people who are retarded, no education, just in a bad place, man. The people that shit, it's like giving a pistol to a motherfucker who ain't got no sense. It's like basically would you give a gun to a child and trust them to be, moving around and shit? You wouldn't. But this fucking internet and these cameras is acting out as a gun, man. And I'm seeing people die from being shot online daily and shit. I just had to put that on here because the shit that I seen with this chick, man, I'm like, whoa. But the modest, the good girls, the church girls, I believe that they are. The numbers are getting very, very, very few at this point, man. I was just in Oakland a couple weeks ago, and in my hotel was a Delta Sigma Theta convention. So it's all types of fly chicks walking around in all red and shit, of all ages, from like, I guess they early 20s all the way up to like 70s and 80s. I mean, some chicks women who have been Deltas for 30, 40 years and shit. If a chick ain't a Zeta, a Delta, or one of those types of, sorority organizations, she's probably gonna be of a low caliber, man. Like, everything is bad, man. Them chicks that's in them sororities and shit, they're bound by a code because they're a part of a prestigious organization, and they can't be misrepresenting the organization. You probably not gonna see none of them doing no wild hoe shit, shaking their ass or misrepresenting their sorority online. Now, they might shake their ass in the confines of their home or around their girls or maybe around the other Deltas and Zetas and shit like that, but they're not gonna put that image out into the public. I believe that they're gonna continue to put out the educated black woman, striving that image, the shit that attracts more pledgees and shit to the organization. But I only can speak for them from based on what I'm seeing and shit. And there's some hoes in the organizations. I knocked down some Zetas and shit like that, but they still keep it. When you see them in public, man, they're gonna be on some professional shit. They're gonna have probably a good job. They're probably gonna be educated, probably mentors in the community. Just they're gonna have a list of credentials, man, that they flexing with online. I mean, in real life. Everybody else ain't tied to no organization that's gonna set the bar and make them continue to try to strive to keep that bar up here. So yeah, man, I was just fucked up about it, man. I had to say something, that this podcasting shit is getting out of hand. Y'all need to leave this shit to the professionals. Leave it to the professionals. period. You know what I'm saying? You got people like Hassan Campbell, retarded ass. He's been successful at this shit because he's a minstrel show. People tune in to see what the fuck he's gonna do dumb as fuck next, or is he gonna get himself killed next? People tune in to see his destruction. Now you got people that's watching him and say, damn, I just watched this nigga make all this money on Super Chat, and he'll flash and let you know how much money he making and shit like that. We've watched his clothes change and shit like that. And you got people say, I'm smarter than him. I'm liver than him. I look better than him. I can do this shit too. And before you know it, it's a big ass fucking mess. You know what I'm saying? Because people ain't focusing on that which they've been doing or that which they were good at. They want to be in this booth in my shoes and shit. Everybody wants to be in front of these cameras. I just have to add this. I've been at this shit almost 20 years. I started in 2004. You got people, niggas will forget that I'm who I am, that I'm Gully TV, and will get to talking about podcasting and what they about to do. And I'm saying to myself, man, you broke in real life. No hoes fuck with you all like you've been with the same bitch. Like, you just got no outstanding qualities that will attract people to listen to you repeatedly and shit. You know what I'm saying? So just stop it, man. And I agree with the chick that said it a few weeks ago. They need to just stop selling podcast equipment, man, because it's bad, man. And I know white folks sit back and say, man, look at all these ignorant niggas, man. Look at these ignorant ass niggas, man. We got them. We got them. We created a diversion, and they on that while we doing this. You know what I'm saying? The big thing that's going on with Black America is probably going to be online, while in real life, white folks, Asians, different other different ethnic groups are probably advancing while we sitting here caught up in the bullshit. I seen Rick Ross, a guy allegedly exposed Rick Ross for having on a fake watch the other day. This is the shit that we stuck on. Materialism, and just it's fucked up. But I had to get that off, man. That was on my chest. You can go look at my live stream that I did I was on there for about an hour, where I went a little bit more in depth. But shout out to Low Murder Official out of Philadelphia. I did an album review on them guys. They got some of the dopest music I done heard from a group. Last group that I was really attracted to musically was from Rochester, New York. That's the Trust Gang. Low Murder Official. They're low lives. They rock the low down. They got the low lingo, everything about it. Yeah, they represent that, and they spitting that shit, man. They got dope production. They fresh. They topics is dope. I just love it, man. I listened to this song called City Lights, man. I just had to keep on playing it and shit. But y'all go look them up. Low Murder Official. LOMERTA Official. Out of Philadelphia, man. Dope underground hip hop. That's my job. Trust me. But I gotta get up out of here. Like I said, I got gym to get to. But before I go, shout out to my man Corey. A friend of mine, associate of mine named Corey, he's down in Harrisburg, PA, and he brought this case to my attention. It's about a young man named Marion Holmes who lost his life about 5 months ago. He was hit. This is a car accident. He was hit by the police. Police allegedly was responding to another call to assist another police officer, and he's speeding there. He's going up a one-way. It's 12 at night. He's going up a one-way. He's speeding like 50, 60 miles per hour or something. Smack into some kids. Killed this young boy named Marion Holmes. This officer's name is Brandon Kovac. The district attorney, Fran Chardo, just decided that he won't charge Brandon Kovac with this case, right? And I spoke to Marion Holmes' father. I believe he's Marion Holmes Sr., and he gave me some details regarding this case. And Officer Brandon Kovac was speeding because he was called to a DUI stop. He was speeding to a DUI stop to assist another officer in a DUI stop. This is not a situation where he was going to a robbery in progress or shots fired or anything like that. He's going to a DUI stop, right? He's speeding to this DUI stop. After the initial call to assist came over dispatch, within like 2 minutes, they called it off. They said, we got this under control. Let's say at 12:30, the call went out. 12:32, they said, we got this under control. He ended up hitting these boys after dispatch told over the transmission that they had everything under control. Now, he's going 50-something miles per hour up a one-way street. Smacked these kids, killed this young boy, and the DA decided not to charge him. Now, I have to fill in some blanks based on what I read and shit. They said that the young man, it was a young man driving. His last name was Porter. He had no license. He's never had a license in Pennsylvania. He's constantly having, some traffic shit going on. But anyway, allegedly he ran a stop sign, according to a news report that I heard. When they did their investigation and asked some of the survivors in the car what happened, they might have corroborated this running the stop sign. But hold on. I received the images of this car accident from Marion Holmes Sr. And this car, this police car was fucked up. And the car that he hit was fucked up. And he was going really, really fast. They say 50. The way he fucked this car up, it's a wonder he didn't kill himself too, but he probably had on a seatbelt or something like that. He really smashed into this car and fucked these kids up, right? So his father, after the death of his son, he wants to pursue some new legislation. This happened in Harrisburg, PA. This is the capital of Pennsylvania. He want to raise awareness on what happened with his son's case. And although that they exonerated the police officer criminally, they still might be liable civilly, right? And Marion Holmes Sr. is trying to get information pertaining to this case, and the district attorney, Fran Chardo, he's not cooperating. So essentially, he probably is requesting like a motion for discovery or some information that is attainable, you know what I'm saying, through the public resources and shit. And the police, the district attorney, is not giving them what they need. They're not giving them the details involving this case. Now, they exonerated the police officer. Okay, y'all said that he's not wrong. Let us see y'all findings. Why can't we have y'all findings? We want to know a little bit more about this case besides y'all account of what happened through the news. We want to see some documents. We want to read something. And the district attorney is depriving them of this. And because of that, of course, when the police get to acting like that, there's probably some wrongdoing. There's probably some lies being told and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And again, these were black kids, of course. This is a white police officer. You know how they do with the police. They protect the police. They've been killing black kids forever. What I find very, very suspicious and interesting is that I can Google the district attorney, Fran Chardo. He's a public servant. Brandon Kovac, who's a police officer, that's also a public servant. You can't get a picture of him online. They're concealing his identity and everything. Like, they're protecting him, and it's just been a frustrating situation to the Holmes family. Homeboy, I'm here for you. I want you to continue to fight for your baby. It's my understanding that if the police is on a high-speed chase through residential neighborhoods, they got to let the person who's fleeing, they have to let them go. they can't even pursue a suspect high speed when they're in residential areas. Do the police follow that? Probably not. Probably not. If they own somebody's ass, they gonna continue to speed. I've seen them do it myself. They high speed chases and ran past my house and shit several times and shit. So they're not in compliance. And this case sounds like police negligence to me. It really does. And the fact that they are keeping this information away from the Holmes family, it just don't make no sense. It stinks. It stinks. It stinks. You know what I'm saying? And I was asked to look into the situation. And when I looked into it and I seen this young man, he was killed like that, and I seen the vehicle, I'm like, man, he probably was going a little faster than what they saying, man. Like, I've been in accidents before. I've been in car accidents before. This car was mutilated almost. Like, the side, because it hit him on the passenger side. He fucked that car up bad, man. Like, it probably obliterated Shorty and shit. And it's just a fucked up situation that they are hiding the identity of Brandon Kovac. Like, you should have a right to, in court, you have a right to face your accuser. They should have a right to see this man's face, because why? He's a public servant. I told them to go to the library and see if they can look up anything through a e-database or something like that. And we trying to get some positive ID on him, but as of now, he has no face. They're hiding him, and it's very, very frustrating. You probably gonna hear a little bit more about this. I might go ahead and interview Mr. Holmes and, you know, let him give some details about what's going on down there in Harrisburg. Harrisburg has a black mayor and shit. Pretty thick black and Latino population, but you know how the police is, man. You know how the white police is and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it just stinks to me. But I gotta run to the gym, man. It's Ramadan. I'm on schedule right now. I'm breaking fast a little bit after 8 o'clock, 8:20 or something like that. So I'm on a schedule, and I gotta get up out of here. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Truck drivers, hold me down. You know what I'm saying? Turn me up, man. Buckle up your seatbelts and get them products on down the highway. Pillmatic 2 on the way, man. Shout out to Sin City from the Diplomats. I got a new record from him. Shout out to P.A. Dre, man. We've been butting heads trying to get this shit done, but we still on the same team. Believe that. Pillmatic 2 on the way, produced by P.A. Dre. It's going to be my second album. And I'm going to continue to put out dope, because it's a lot more involved with this shit than just podcasting. You know what I'm saying? It's more involved with this. Everybody running to the podcast shit. You wouldn't imagine how much shit I do to sustain and keep this shit fresh and keep this shit moving. But I'm only going to show and prove. Lakers and Golden State tonight. I'm on a schedule. I got to get up out of here. Nick, turn me up, man. Pillmatic 2 on the way, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, The Real Gully TV on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram at IamGullyTV_, and on Twitter at GullyTV1. Go to the website. Get knitted. PA Knit. Stay fresh. Stay blessed. I'm up out of here. Peace.
Homies gone, always got his limits. I'm selecting where I get my energy. Smiling on the outside, on the inside, shit killing me. Knowing that the love fake, that's why I keep it still with me. Riding with the ceiling crack, boy, I did it big, no gorilla black. I'm still in the trenches where the killers at, trying to give them hope. The hallway smell like coke.